Hello and welcome back to another Tartan Talk Tuesday. This week I thought we'd do something a little different. I recently did a photo shoot for my sort of showstopper piece from my show last year. So I thought I would just talk a little bit about that piece and sort of dive into the inspiration behind the piece, how I made it, and then the photo shoot itself. So let's jump right in. This piece was a little bit outside the norm for me because it's not actually made of tartan. However, it is made from wool that's made in the same factories by the same weavers that weave tartans. It is 16-ounce heavyweight wool, and it is a beautiful cream with a navy pinstripe. I had also designed this piece a few years ago that was just sort of like a big open coat with a train. So I thought I would take that idea and expand on it and make the train a really big, voluminous, extra heavy, huge, long, full skirt, but have the top part still be sort of like a jacket. I knew for sure what I wanted the top part to look like, so I had that constructed. But the skirt part, I was trying to figure out what the best way to do it was. So I ended up making two different pieces. The under train was very, very, very long and very, very heavy. I gathered it onto the waist of the jacket. It was very heavy. I had to put several rows of stitching on this in order to keep it together because it was very, very heavy. The top part of the actual jacket, I actually used a couple of different layers of heavyweight canvas along with the wool on the very, very back, center back panels, because that's where a lot of the weight would be pulling and holding. So I put all kinds of heavy canvas in order to make it sort of structurally sound. The upper part, I really toyed with, and I changed it a lot. I have to say, I probably remade the upper section of the train 7, 8, 9 times, something like that, just over and over and over again. And it wasn't until one day I just sort of like pinned it all the way across and let it hang. It sort of created this arrowhead shape, and I just thought it looked really cool. So I thought, maybe I can just leave it like this. Of course, it still took a lot of tweaking and a lot of sort of repinning and refolding and all of that kind of thing. But in the end, I was really, really happy with how it turned out. The show itself, my very, very dear friend Christy was the model who wore it, and she came out at the very end, and it just was an absolute stunning showstopper, and I'm so pleased with how it went. I ended up making myself a shorter navy version of that jacket with the same sort of arrowhead shape in the back, but just a knee-length version. And of course I can do that with any of the gowns that I have. You can make a knee-length version of any of the things, but I wanted to kind of show the two different sides of it. When it came time for Atlantic Fashion Week in the fall, unfortunately Kristen wasn't available, so I had another dear friend and great model, Kat, wear it, and she did an absolutely fantastic job too. When it came time to figuring out how to shoot the gown, I kept having in my head the words Snow Queen or Ice Queen, and what better place to shoot a Snow Queen than in Canada where I live. So we decided to do an outdoor shoot. Now in this last week in Halifax, I've been sick as a dog and we've had 2 major blizzards. These blizzards just absolutely blanketed the city with snow. So I contacted my dear friend Christy and our dear friend Brent, the amazing photographer who does all of my photos. We decided to get together for a snowstorm photo shoot here in Halifax. The day of the shoot, Christy arrived. We pinned all those glorious hair extensions into her hair, and then we had to figure out how to keep her warm out in the cold. So she had on a pair of really heavy nude colored tights. Over that she had on a pair of navy blue tights. Over that she had a pair of black heavy over the knee socks. And on her feet she had big rubber winter boots. Yes, in that shot she's actually wearing big heavy rubber boots, which I find quite funny.
Storm shoot! Needs to come up a little bit so that it's a little more. What are you doing on your storm day? We're doing a fashion shoot.
Luckily, of course, the gown is heavyweight wool, so it does provide quite a bit of warmth, but it was pretty cold out that day. Brent and his wife Sarah were on the sidewalk ready to shoot. They had the shot all lined up, but Christy and I had to climb up into the snowbank and across. I'm actually just to the right of the shot holding all of Christy's clothes and her jacket and things, and I was knee deep in snow, and Christy was even farther than that in the snow. And we stood there for a good, probably 15, almost 20 minutes, but in the end, we got some amazing shots. Christy is such a trooper, as are Brent and Sarah. I am so happy with how it turned out. I hope you all enjoy it. Here's the shot. As I've called it from the beginning, Snow Queen. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next week for another Tartan Talk Tuesday. Cheers.